What is up, everyone? So I am here with the little UTB18 Capra. And I don't think this one's as popular and gets as much attention as some of the other new releases right now. And it's easy to overlook. I passed it by a couple of times myself. Like, I don't know about that. It looks kind of toyish, but you know, the more I looked at it and the more I saw the features on it, the more I ended up wanting it. So I brought it home, and I've been driving it, and I've ran about, probably 4 batteries through it now. And I'm just really impressed with how this thing drives. It's a really great little crawler. I mean, it is a full-blown crawler. It is not a toy. It is a pretty much ready-to-go rig. It had no problems on my course or anything else. So, right now, all of the upgrades are out of stock for this thing. But I was able to go through my link sets, and I found a couple of links I put together and remove these plastic ones because, I mean, look at that flex. So to get those replaced is a great improvement, and I had plenty of link ends laying around, so I just went through all my piles of links from some of my old builds and found a couple that would work, and they turned out pretty good. And the other thing I'm going to do is on these shocks, let me zoom in here, the volume is going to change. They have a little spacer right here. You can see that when I lift it up. I'm going to remove that because that is a shock limiter. It lets us go to here and it stops it. And I want a little bit more flex. And because they have plenty of upgrades for this, but they're all sold out, but a lot of them we can take care of ourselves with a little bit of ingenuity. So I have ordered 12mm brass hex extensions by Injora. They'll be here tomorrow. By the time I get the tires and everything else done, we'll be ready to take a look at those before the video's even over. We'll get those put on, and that'll give us 24mm wider just from those adapters, and then plus the weight of the brass hexes themselves. We'll have more articulation. I've made my own links for the front, which you can do this too. Just measure links and start looking. You can probably find some online for other vehicles. Now, the next thing, though, I have for it are these wheels. And these wheels, I love these wheels. I have them on my Nightcrawler. I have them on my Rift. Anything that I've made orange gets these wheels. And so, I've got these wheels. And then I was kind of with the problem on tire size, because I did not want to go overboard on these. When I measure them, I get right around 90mm, and I knew I didn't really want to go over 100mm, because then that would just be too much tire, and it would kind of look goofy and act goofy. So I ended up going to the hobby store, and I found these RC 4-wheel drive Trail Busters, and when I measured them at the hobby store through the package, we were getting right around 101mm, and I think that is going to fall within acceptable. Pull one out and have a look. Yeah, so I mean they are going to be slightly larger, but I was expecting that. Pull that up to the middle, so probably going to be about, you know, just a little bit, not horribly larger. It's not going to be too bad at all, I don't think. I'll put these wheels in there and push them down for a look and get those put on there. And I think those are really going to be a nice addition too. And these feel like kind of a nice little soft rubber. Not as sticky as some of the tires I've owned, but not bad at all. They might be a little bit stickier than what's on their stock. And they're definitely, I like the tread pattern on those. I haven't owned these before, so this is going to be a new tire test for me as well. But let's just measure these real quick. We'll go from this lug to that lug. Yeah, right about 101mm. I don't know how well you can see on there, but about 101mm, and it's just 11mm larger than what's currently on there. That shouldn't be too bad at all. But I'm going to get these mounted up. Parts should be in by then, and I will be back with you before you know it. So we've reached a good news, bad news area. So good news, I was able to get that shock spacer off. That's all it is. So we've got that much more compression on our shocks. Bad news is this is the nut that goes on the end of the axle shaft, And this is a standard one, which is what we'd be using on the adapters I ordered. And as you can see, these are smaller than the normal threads you'd use on a 110 scale, which I think is right around I think it's an M4 maybe. Looks like an M4. M3, M4. But yeah, these definitely will not work on a standard one. I'll tell you right now. So yeah, I think the standards are M4s because that's an M3 and that fits on there. So as of right now, I'll still be waiting for the brass hexes from Axial because the ones I ordered will not work because of that issue. But the tires came out amazing looking. And they fit right on there, and they're not too big. I think they're going to work out perfectly. So I'm going to get all 4 of these mounted on, pull the other 3 spacers off, and then we'll get this guy out and see how it does. Another quick thing, even though I'm not going to be able to get my offset hexes like I would like, as you can see, these wheels have a nice offset to them compared to this one. So we are going to get a little wider just from the wheel installation. So I have made it out here. We are ready to do some testing on the course. And you can see our little hubs there. After cutting that little ring off the back, I was even able to get them to screw onto the stock or the new wheels. So that turned out pretty good. If you've watched the previous video, you know how this did previously on the course. So let's fire this thing up and see how it does. So we have wrapped it up and not too shabby. I think it did pretty daggone good. And the new wheels and tires, I really like the way these wheels look. And the tires are not bad. The only thing is this is such a light vehicle that it's not truly putting enough weight down on these to compress them properly, or else I think it'd perform even better. So I'm going to get some wheel weights to go inside the wheels. And probably, I've already got a light star cutting on the foam, but I'm probably going to go a little bit deeper. See if I can get a little more squish out of that. And other than that, it's performing really well. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll leave the links for all these parts in the description below. And stay tuned because there's more to come. Have a great one, guys.